Hello and welcome. This is the Ketchup. I'm your host Gideon, and today we're going to do part 2 of our Demon Slayer recap. This is going to be episodes 14 through 26. Episode 14 leaves us where episode 13 left us, and it's basically a fight between Tanjiro and this man wearing a boar head mask, which we find out is named Inosuke, who is also a demon slayer, though be it a little rough around the edges. Turns out to be a very decent guy who has a very good heart. Through this, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all become a trio and all head to Wisteria Crest House to basically get rejuvenated and replenished on basically everything they need health-wise. In episode 15, our three boys, Zenitsu, Inosuke, and Tanjiro, all recover. In the process, Zenitsu meets Nezuko for the first time, and almost instinctively he falls in love with her. But it's a little bit more of a crush than he has on most girls that he meets. But after this, the boys are healed, and they get their mission to Mount Nagaro. And on this mountain, there have been multiple killings and multiple Mizunoto's lower-ranked demon slayers who've been sent there. This quite possibly being the most scared that you should be seeing something like this. Zenitsu acts appropriately, but Tanjiro and Inosuke very bravely go onward in and end up fighting people who are also Mizunotos. These Mizunotos are being controlled by spiderwebs in the trees, and they're being used like puppets. So not wanting to kill them, Tanjiro comes up with a quick way to basically slice the strings above head and find out what demon is controlling these people. And then we have Giyu and Shinobu sent to help, who are two high-ranking demon slayers. In episode 16, Inosuke uses his beast senses to find the demon who's controlling the rest of the demon slayers. She is actually the mother demon in the family group of spider demons. Easily taken out by Tanjiro, she actually wished for death, but through her death, she actually tells Tanjiro that one of the other members of the spider family is a member of the 12 Kizuki. In episode 17, we catch back up with Zenitsu, who was originally too scared to go into the scary spider forest. He realizes that if he doesn't go in, that there's a chance of Nezuko not making it out, and so bravely he rushes in, immediately regretting it. He stumbles across a spider demon that has a spider body but like a human head, and his special demon ability is spitting venom that turns humans into spiders. Zenitsu, getting hit by it, immediately goes into the instinct that he has to use his lightning technique. We find out through a backstory that he only knows one technique, but he uses it perfectly. Tanjiro and Inosuke in episode 18 face off against the father spider demon, who is super demon powers is just basically being super strong. The two high-ranking demon slayers who were issued to go there finally arrive in the area. During the battle, Tanjiro and Inosuke are basically separated by a lot. So, Inosuke is left alone fighting off against the spider demon. The spider demon, after kind of losing and getting his arm cut off, hits a second form. It gets way stronger, way more buff, and he's about to kill Inosuke because he's way tougher now. But then that higher ranking demon slayer comes out of nowhere and saves Inosuke, no problem. In episode 19, Tanjiro faces off against a spider demon who's named Ryu. He is actually one of the members of the 12 Kizuki. Only to find that Nezuko and Tanjiro have a better bond than he does. He loses it and becomes very angry. So this sparks a fight between Ryu and Tanjiro, where in this fight, Tanjiro's sword gets cut in half, and he's no longer able to use it because he has a broken sword. Ryu is super powerful, using his webs basically as razor blades that he can manipulate in any which direction. Though not really a match for this demon, Tanjiro musters up enough strength using his water-breathing techniques and total concentration breathing where he can stand a fight, and he starts actually snapping through these webs. But Ryu gets the jump on him, and he has a perfect trap laid out for him that's going to kill Tanjiro if he doesn't do something or think quick. He busts out a move that his father taught him, like subconsciously. So like using this move that his father taught him, which is actually known as the fire-breathing technique, and Nezuko's ability of basically exploding her blood, which is her blood demon arm, they decapitate Ryu, and it's crazy. In episode 20, we find out Ryu isn't actually dead. And right before he could cut off Ryu's head, he used one of his webs, which are razor sharp, to cut off his own head. And demons can't kill demons, so he stays alive. Tanjiro, being worn out at this point, doesn't know what he's going to do. And he gives up, only to be saved by Giyu Tomioka, the same demon slayer that helped him and his sister in episode 1. And he kills him effortlessly, as if the demon was nothing. But we also, in this episode, find out about Ryu's backstory and why he chose to have a family. He chose to have a family because he didn't remember his family as an human because of the tragedy that he faced when he had to kill his own parents, and it was a mistake that he regretted all the way into his demon life. So he chose to have a demon family, basically to make up for it. Shinobu kills one of the older demon sisters in the clan, Shinobu being the butterfly demon, but she does it in a special way where she uses a special demon poison that only works on demons instead of actually cutting off their head. In episode 21, Tanjiro runs from Kocho. Kocho being one of the demon slayers sent to help, and also the one that killed the sister demon in the previous episode. She's after him because she's trying to kill Nezuko, which she doesn't realize is one of the good demons, basically. Giyu knows this. So he basically uses all of his strength and all of his skills to not hurt Kocho, but basically stop her and waste her time so that they can run away. During this, Kocho's understudy basically catches both Nezuko and Tanjiro and subdues them. And then one of the crows announces that both Tanjiro and Nezuko aren't to be killed, but they're actually fugitives, and they must be brought before the highest ranking demon slayers, which are known as Hashiras, for law. Tanjiro, in episode 22, is put on trial for basically protecting a demon, which is a big no-no in the world of demon slayers. All of the Hashiras basically are going across the line of them deciding on whether or not they should just kill him, which most of them say yes, except for like 2, to kill Tanjiro. And it's not really until the master of the demon slayers shows up and defends both Nezuko and Tanjiro for their decisions that they start actually listening. And it's through a letter that Tanjiro's former master sends, basically describing how great Nezuko is and how great Tanjiro is, that the respect between the Hashiras and Tanjiro starts to grow. But there is one Hashira, the Wind Hashira, who does not agree with this at all. So he has to test Nezuko on his own. So he takes his sword and he cuts his arm, basically tempting her with his blood, wanting her to act crazy to prove his point. In episode 23, we basically get the resolution to the test that the Wind Hashira had for Nezuko, which is She doesn't do it. She doesn't attack him because she's the best and she's best girl. But through this action of being tested, Nezuko remembers her family and the inspiration that her mother and her father would give her, basically to protect her family at all costs. It's a very touching moment. Tanjiro is told by the master of all the Hashiras that if he is to kill one of the 12 Kizuki, the Hashiras will start to respect him and start to take his opinion more validly. Kocho, who is one of the Hashiras, also the person who was in that spider fight, decides to let Tanjiro and Nezuko stay with her and recover. Also, the master of the Hashiras and all of Demon Slayers knows who Tamayo, the demon doctor, is, which is mind blown. Tanjiro finally reunites with Zenitsu and Inosuke and is overwhelmed to see his friends just happy. And we also learn that Rengoku, the flame Hashira, is going to fight an upper level Kizuki. Episode 24 is a pretty relaxed episode. It's mostly about Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, who are the three boys, and they're all just healing, getting better from this great, basically their first real mission, fighting a genuine threat, a 12 Kizuki. But after they get a little bit healed up, they start going through physical training, and very comedically, they basically go through stretching, and they have to play tag, and they have to play a cup game where whoever grabs the cup first gets a splash in the other person's face. And in true anime fashion, it kind of gets out of hand with how silly and extreme it gets. But at the very end, we basically get character development on Tanjiro's side, where he's going to do, which is called total concentration breathing, which is the most intense form of his water breathing technique. And he's going to implement that at all times. So basically training at all times, even when sleeping, which is a tall order. In episode 25, Tanjiro basically puts this total concentration breathing technique training into effect, where he's blowing into hard gourds, which are made out of pottery, to break them, to build up his lung capacity. He's training with weights, and he's doing all the most that he can while in this great position to learn it. All while improving in these little minute tasks of the tag and the water splashing in the face. But Zenitsu and Inosuke, very tired of training and feeling like it's very trivial, just kind of give up on it all. And they're like, whatever. And they ignore it. And it's not until Kocho convinces them in a very comedic way that they should start training this exact same way. We also learn a little bit of backstory on Kano, who is one of the people Tanjiro is training with, and that she flips a coin to make decisions. That when she was younger, she was a slave. And at one point, she broke all of her ties to her emotions. And she now doesn't feel anything that she calls pain. Also, Tanjiro and Inosuke, after breaking their swords against the spider demons, get their brand new swords. Episode 26 is when we're reunited as an audience with Muzan, the head of the demons. He's transformed his scent and his look to look like a woman, but he still has that creepy monotone voice. And he's gathered all of the lower rank Kizuki, which he tells them that he's going to basically eliminate them all, kill them all because they serve no use. A lot of them try to run away and just basically beg him and plead for him not to kill him, which he doesn't. He kills them all, except for one who wishes for death. It's kind of like an emo demon that's like, please kill me. I'm so ready for it. Kind of taken aback. Muzan's like, we need more people like you, and gives him more of his own blood, basically turning this lower rank Kizuki into maybe a competitor for a higher rank Kizuki. Then we get back to our boy Tanjiro, who's all healed up, who's learned a brand new breathing technique, and he's headed to his next mission, which we don't know about at the moment, but he has to say goodbye to a lot of people, and it's a very heartwarming moment. And him and Kane kind of have a relationship back and forth where she kind of falls for him. She kind of falls for her main boy Tanjiro. Very cute. Then Tanjiro, right before he leaves, thanks Tomioka for standing up for him on the Nezuko situation and believing in him and his sister. Then our boys Ino, Tanjiro, and Zenny, they all are about to board onto a train. And this train has that just now souped up demon and our boy Rengoku, who is the person who's going to fight the upper level Kizuki on a mission. And this is all explored in the movie that comes out in later of 2020.